Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Drooks Malan from Meridian Realty, and today I'm going to chat to you about preparing your house to enter the market to sell. Now, this is a fine line that we walk. Firstly, you've got to get your house in order, as they say. You've got to make the product, which is your home, attractive to a prospective buyer. And here you walk a fine line between keeping things neat and in shape or over-capitalizing. So what I always tell people, don't go and do major renovations. All you need to do now is keep everything ship-shape. So look at the general condition of your house. Start at the curb. Maybe it needs a new coat of paint. Look at the window frames. If you have wooden windows, maybe they need sanding so they open and close. Then if you look at your garden, that can also make a big difference. It has a big influence on your curb appeal. Maybe get in a garden service, cut the lawn, take the weeds out. Look at your gutters. A lot of people in Belfort Estate and other areas have got little mini vegetable gardens growing in their gutters. Clean the gutters so it doesn't give a good impression and it can lead to leaks in the roof. Which brings me to the next point. Make sure there are no leaks, there's no damp or mildew. Nothing like that puts off a buyer as quickly, because then they think, what else may there be that's going to jump out of a cupboard after I bought the house. Then look at the inside of the house. If it needs a new coat of paint, you can do that. If there are things like structural cracks, that's something you must fix. And also look at the carpets or the floor covering. Perhaps the carpets need a good clean, or you may even need new carpets. As I've said, do the basic cosmetics right, make it attractive. And now, once you've done that, that does not necessarily mean your house is going to increase by the value of the repairs. It's simply like if I put two 20 Rand notes on the table, well, one is nice and clean and new, and the other one is crumpled up, you're going to take the 20 Rand note that's nice and clean, but they're still worth 20 Rand. But get these things done, because a house that appears scruffy and dilapidated always fetches a lower price. Just take what you have and optimize it. Now, once you have done that, the next thing is pricing your house correctly. Here is where your estate agent comes in. He can also advise you on the first part of what to spruce up in the house and what not. But here is where the agent comes in, and I've made a separate video that tells you how to select the right agent. But it's very important to get the price right. If you are in a seller's market where your market is booming, it's not as crucial, because that's a forgiving market, because the market is moving up. So even if your house is a bit overpriced, it's not ideal, but eventually the market will catch the price. But now we are in a very unforgiving buyer's market. So the market is moving sideways, and right at this moment I think it's moving slightly downwards. So if you overprice your house, you're going to completely miss the market. And agents who do that valuation based on two things: comparable sales and competing properties. It's got to be based on hard facts. If you overprice your house, there's two things that happen. Number one, the property grows stale on the market. One of the questions that the buyer always asks me is, how long has this property been on the market? Today, with the internet and all the property portals, there's a listing date by that advertisement on the internet, so people can see it. People have access to information, and the longer a property stays on the market, typically the lower offers it generates. So the ideal is that you want to sell your property somewhere between 1 month and 3 months, depending on which price bracket you're in. The higher price brackets take a bit longer, but you don't want a property hanging around on the market for more than that. Doesn't do any good. And the other thing that can happen, if you overprice your property, buyers shop in price bands. You can go to privateproperty.co.za or property24.com and pretend that you are a buyer and you're looking in a certain price range. There's a drop down menu. You select, let's say, between 2 million and 3 million. Now, if your house is overpriced and it sits between that, for example, that 2 and 3 million bracket, where it should actually be 1.5, then it's not going to compare favorably with the other properties. They're going to offer more, it's going to be in a better condition, so your property is going to be passed over. That's why it is essential to price the property right. Now, it's hard because you're emotional about your property. We all are. Home is where the heart is. But with a market, you need an agent that is objective, and you need to try and be objective yourself. The market doesn't care how much you've spent on that new kitchen. it is what it is. It's not going to give you that money back. So if you can't recoup your costs and you don't have to sell, it's better not to sell at all. Otherwise, cut your losses and get moving. I've also had experience with one of my properties where the market just went down and down. I couldn't get my money back. I had to cut my losses and move on. It happens sometimes. And also keep in mind, the longer you stay in a market, you've got holding costs, you've got rates and taxes, you've got gardening services, you've got the general maintenance, you've got your bond payments, you've got the interest on your bond, and you also have a lost opportunity of your money sitting in that bond where you can earn somewhere else. So keep those things in mind. And then when the marketing process starts, let the agent do his job. Try and stay out of his or her way. Ask the questions that a buyer may ask in an honest and forthright manner, but don't sit there and try and sell the house. I've had a client once that was going through a divorce and he was very distraught. So every buyer that came to the house had to listen to the story of his divorce. That's not a good vibe. Just stay in the background, let the agent do their thing. So in short, get the cosmetics on your house right. Make it attractive to buyers without overcapitalizing, get the price right, and then because you've selected the right agent, you can just stand back and let the process run. Until we see each other again, happy selling.